Welcome to Detroit Autorama 2015. If you were here this year, this will give you a second look. If you missed it, here's your free tour. Autorama is one of the best custom car shows around. Every car at the show is looking to win the prestigious Riddler Award. And for the second year in a row, the trophy was handed out to a British Columbia car. Last year's winner was this magnificent custom 64 Buick Riviera. This year, the coveted prize went to this 65 Chevy from Abbotsford, BC. The Foose-designed Chevy was given a premier location right at the entrance to the showroom. It's a beautiful custom, and it took 5 years to create. Just so you know, the Riddler is no relation to the famous Batman character. It's named after Don Riddler, who was an athlete, a coach, and a promoter of what was to become Autorama back in the 50s. Here's a 32 Ford Roadster hot rod. And here's another 32 Ford. This one a 3-window coupe. This is a 37 Chevy with mild customizing. Looks like the roof has been chopped. Nice looking engine. The next couple of cars are real works of craftsmanship. This is a hand-built reconstruction of a 1937 Delahaye. Plenty of style in this recreation. And this is a stylized reinterpretation of Ralph Lauren's 37 Bugatti. Completely hand-built. Rather than being an exact copy, it's a tasteful redesign of the 57S Atlantic. They call it the Pacific. An original of this car was sold at auction to an unknown buyer for between $30 and $40 million. Here's a 1955 Cadillac Coupe de Ville. Love those bumper bullets. Now, a couple of concept cars. This is a 52 Buick Wildcat prototype. It's called the Wildcat 2. Back in the early 50s, GM and all the other car companies were active in turning out ultra-modern, highly advanced concept cars. This car is a one-of-a-kind. Note the deep recess in the fender well. Under the hood sits a 322 cubic inch V8 developing 220 horsepower. It features a fiberglass body, a 2-seater cockpit with bucket seats, and an automatic floor shifter. Here's another GM concept car. This one a 56 Buick Centurion. Like the Wildcat prototype, this has a fiberglass body, and it has an acrylic clear roof. Under the hood sits a 348 cubic inch engine developing 325 horsepower. Notice the TV screen mounted in the dash. I'm told but can't confirm that the chrome appendage you see in the center of the car is to accommodate a swing of the steering wheel from left to right. However, this car was never modified as such. This is a 1953 Corvette, and the earliest Corvette known to have run in NASCAR-sanctioned events. GM got into making 2-seater sports cars to compete with the Europeans. Not wanting to be left behind, Ford also got into the 2-seater car market in 1955 with the new Thunderbird. This one looks like a stock model. It features a 312 engine, and the color is blue pearl. Here's a 1937 Ford Woody. This 67 Mustang has nice customizing and plenty of goodies inside. Very few of these cars actually retain full originality. This one has been well engineered. There was a little bit of everything at this show, including funny cars and rails. Or at least, we used to call them rails when we were younger. I guess now they're just called dragsters. I think I saw this great-looking 63 Ford Galaxie on TV a while back. Perhaps on the show My Classic Car or a similar show. Lots of customizing went into this fine automobile. It's a real showstopper and yet simple, clean, and classy. Here's a 1947 Hudson. So what do you say, there's plenty of Hudsons around. But have you ever heard of a 1947 Hudson pickup truck? Perhaps you have, but it's a new one on me. For Oldsmobile fans, here's a 67 442 with 4-speed. The 32 Ford in your foreground features a V12 Lincoln flathead engine. It's sitting next to a red 37 Ford. There's a 57 Pontiac 2-door hardtop. And here is a 67 Mustang Fastback. But Larry, the builder of this car, says there's nothing much Mustang about it anymore. It's been completely reworked. Here's a low-riding, cut-down 29 Ford Roadster. How cool is that? A 1969 Lincoln 4-door. Love those suicide doors. This is a 49 Chevy Deluxe Tin Woody. It's called a Tin Woody because what looks like wood really isn't. This is a beautifully restored car. There's a 59 Edsel Corsair convertible, and next to it a 59 Edsel Villager wagon. Here's a completely custom MG Midget that took second place in class at last year's Autorama. It was completely disassembled and rebuilt from the ground up. Doug did the work.
Took the car completely apart, stripped it to the bare metal, brought it back up, painted it black, base coat, clear coat with hand airbrush flames. The owner put the 327 in it, and he did all the woodwork on the interior. He made it all by hand. It even has a completely wood steering wheel.
A lot of Essex County guys and gals will know about Daryl's 55 Ford Custom line. He finished it off in 2011. This 55 changes color in the sunshine from black to a nice shade of deep purple.
There's some pearl in it that's overlaid in a couple coats of clear over a base black finish.
Like a lot of cars here at this show, this is a 55 in body style only.
The only original pieces left really are the body. It has a 351 stroker Windsor block, 392 cubic inch, 5-speed Tremec transmission, 4-link positive traction rear end, Ford 9-inch, and coil-over shocks all the way around.
This will bring back good memories of the 60s. Remember Flower Power and all that fun stuff? These shows are great for creating ideas for those doing customs or restorations. How'd you like to have this 32 Ford 3-window coupe in your driveway? Or this 33 Ford Roadster? It came all the way from New Brunswick. I'm quite sure this Rambler never looked this good fresh from the factory. And it has a Hemi engine. At first quick glance, we thought this was a 57 Chevy. But no, it's not. It's a 57 Plymouth Belvedere. Never saw this model looking so good. The builder of this beautiful Belvedere is Steve.
Well, we've section wedged it. We took about 4.5 inches out of the front sheet metal, back to nothing to the back wheels. We chopped the back of the top, not the windshield, but the back to get it down about 3 inches. We built all the side trim. Basically the hood and the front windshield and the tail fins are all original. They just built beautiful cars back then.
Beautiful cars. We couldn't agree more. Just look at this 57 Plymouth. There's nothing today to match the style of these oldies. While at the show we met Rick and Debbie with their 1956 Pontiac Safari wagon. They say their car is a tribute to early customizers of the 50s and 60s.
Some of the things that we've done to the car, we've added and extended the headlights 2 inches. We put on 1954 Mercury headlight rims. The side of the car has 1959 Thunderbird side trim. Tail lights are a 1956 Oldsmobile tail lights, and the grill is a 1954 DeSoto grill.
Small details like hand pinstriping make a big difference. Notice the care with which the trunks are finished off in these cars. It's details like this that really set a car off. I love talking with people, and one of them was Larry with his 1953 Buick Super Convertible.
We have pancaked the hood. We put a 53 Cadillac trunk on it because they slope instead of square off. Made the car look longer and lower. We two-toned the paint. It's got a big block 454 with a 700R transmission.
He's done a great job in customizing this car, but the car hasn't lost its original styling. Here's a 1940 Ford Woody and a quick run-through of other cars at the show. For many of us, the real fun at Autorama is in the basement. You never know what you're going to find. Aside from these, There are a lot of really beautiful cars down here too. You'll recognize Mike's once tall T, cut down to a flat-top hot rod. There are lots of interesting discoveries here in the Coble basement, like this unassuming 1951 Chevy hardtop. Notice the 54 taillights. What's interesting though, this is one of George Barris' first creations, done in '51. It was customized by him and brother Sam back in '51, and bears the Barris crest. Here's a '58 Chrysler New Yorker. It's been a custom since '79, and more sights from the basement at Coble Center. You know, in many respects, the basement is a nice relief from the glitz and the glamour of the main floor showroom. Well, that's a glimpse at the 2015 edition of Autorama. It took us 5 hours to see this show. I hope you enjoyed this tour, and thank you for viewing. And as always, come spring, we'll see you at the car shows and cruise nights.